Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you two different methods to add security certificate to your Rancher Kubernetes deployment. Whether you're working with TLS certificate, SSL certs, or any security certificate, I'll walk you through both the secret and the config map approaches step by step. By the way, at the end of this video, you'll be able to securely deploy certificate and mount them into your container like a pro. Well, let's dive in. Well, the first step is to get our certificate file into our Linux control node here. I have a DER file format somewhere here on the ctemp cert folder on my Windows machine, and I need to transfer using a Windows command prompt into this Linux box. By the way, if you're curious what does DER stand for, it basically stands for Distinguish Encoding Rule. It is essentially a binary encoded file format for X.509 certificate and other ANS1 data structure. This is a command to transfer the file. Basically, this is the source with c:\temp cert test_cert.der, and I'm going to put it as a user under this IP address for this control node into this directory called home rabi, and basically enter your password here. And as soon as that's done, it should transfer the file across. Now, if you go over here and ls.al, you can see that that particular file got transferred right here. Perfect. Our DR certificate file is ready. Now let's look at how our two deployment method works. Method number one is to use the Kubernetes secrets. It is a recommended approach for sensitive certificate. First, we'll convert our DR file to PEM format, which is more widely supported using this command. As you can see, I'm using the openssl package here. So if you don't have it, please install it before you proceed to next. If you hit enter and you do clear, let's look at the directory. It has created a new file called PEM. Now, if you were to go in here, you'll look at deployment, and then we go storage and secret. We'll watch this as the secrets get created. At this point, you have two options to creating a secret. If you have both the certificate and a private key, you can use the tls-secret using this command here. As you can see, it says private key. Now, as you can see, I don't have any private key. When I hit enter, it'll throw me an error message. If you don't have a private key, no worries. You can still create a secret using this command here. And now if you hit enter and watch this screen on the side here on the Rancher UI, as soon as the secret gets created, this particular website will also get populated with my secret here. So essentially, this is one of the ways to check whether your secret get created. Another one is to use kubectl get secret command, and pressing enter here, you can see that my secret is down here. You can also further scrutinize by looking at the description of the secret by entering this kubectl describe secret my cert. But this one here doesn't show you the entire key. If you want to see the whole content of this secret, you're going to have to create a YAML file using this kubectl command here and hit enter, and you can see a more detailed profile of your security certificate here. Now you have your security certificate in a Kubernetes secrets. How do you use it in your deployment? It's quite simple. First, you're going to go to your workloads and go to deployment and go to your deployment that you're going to apply that security certificate to. Mine's going to be called a mystery machine here, and then click on this epsilon here, edit config, and it'll come up to this one here. Under here, you're going to go to pod. On the storage, you're going to add volume. Well, what we did was we added a secret. Obviously, you're going to select secret here and basically select the secret certificate that you create. Mine's going to be my cert. And the default mode, I'm going to get 644, which is the write and execute format. Optional, I'm going to leave it as it is. Now I'm going to go back to my container, which is my web browser for my Nginx, and go to storage from the menu here. Under the volume, I'm going to select secret and basically assign a mount point, a directory, which is going to be etc ssl my cert, whatever directory you want to put it to. Do not put a slash here because sometimes it does not work. In fact, most of the time it does not work for some weird reason. But if you do know the reason behind it, please leave the comment on the description so that maybe I'll learn a few things from you. On the subpath to volume, you can just leave it blank. That way you'll mount the entire secret. Once that's done, click on save. As you can see, it's in progress right now. In a few moments, you can see this will be active again. If you're curious, just click on it. You'll see this being active as well. Let's go back to deployment. Let's look into the shell execute here and see where that particular directory has landed for us. So we're going to do ls-al. And basically what we did, was we put it into the sector directory under SSL. And if you hit enter, you can see my cert is down here. Let's query the my cert like this. and hit enter, you can see that they have two symbolic link file here. If you were to go ahead and go under dot dot this particular directory, because these two are your symbolic link with the L here, if you go dot dot 2 here into this directory, you can actually see your cert that's actually residing in this particular container. I'm going to go ahead and close that, and that's how you use it on your deployment. Let's clean up first, and I'll show you how you can actually get rid of your secret. Let's go to edit config here, and we'll do the same thing in reverse to remove this guy here. Go to pod, storage, and basically remove this and save. You'll go in progress and you'll come to active in a bit here. Now, let me show you how you can actually remove the secret using the command prompt. Of course, you can actually go to storage here and then go and delete from here if you like. But another way to do it will be using your kubectl. You can use this kubectl delete secret my cert, that is the name of the secret. But before we do that, let's do this. Let's get all the secret to show you that the secret indeed exists in here, which is our cert. Go ahead and delete it. This is deleted, and now query to get secret again. You can see that the my cert has disappeared from here. And just to double check using kubectl, you can see that my cert has also disappeared from our list here. Let me clear the screen here. For method 2, we're going to use a config map method. Great for non-sensitive certificate or when you need a certificate in base64 format, because you'll see that base64 is actually an ASCII format. You can actually visibly see the certificate. First, we encode our certificate into base64 using this command here and hit enter. And do ls-al, you can see that that particular command has created a new file for you over here. Next, we'll go ahead and create a config map using the following command. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and open our storage and look at config map, and we can see that certificate coming in as we hit enter right about now. So now it's created. As you can see that the cert config appears right here. Now, if you click on it, you can actually see a text format of it. With that being said, now your config map certificate has been created. We're going to go ahead and do a get config map using kubectl, also to verify that this certificate indeed exists in here. And if you want a bit more high level scrutiny or details on that particular certificate, you can definitely do a kubectl describe config map and followed by the name of the config map, which is our cert config. You can see the details of it. Now, how would you apply the security certificate, which is located in the config map, into your workload deployments? Now, go to workloads again one more time. Deployment, we're going to use the same mystery machine deployment here. Click on this epsilon, edit config, go to pods, storage. Under the volume, we're going to add a config map now. And after that, from this pull down for config map, you're going to select cert config, which is our config map. Again, the default read-write format is going to be 644 or whichever permission that you want, optional. I'm going to leave it blank. Next, we're going to go to the web browser container here. Under storage, we're going to now insert the config map. On the mount point, we're going to use the same directory location. Please do not put a / like that. It will not work. And on the subpath in volume, we're going to leave it blank, as this will mount the entire config map for us here. So once that's done, go ahead and save. And in a few bit moment, the in progress will turn into active, just like that. And now let's go to our execute shell here to see whether that particular directory got created with that certificate. And then we go ls-al. We did mount it on etc ssl. Did I type it wrongly? No, I did type it wrongly. So ls-al etc ssl. You can see that my cert directory is created here. Let's go in there, my cert, like that. Hit enter. You can see that there's two symbolic link, and one of the symbolic link is pointing to this directory, which is apparently this directory here. So we're going to go into that directory, ..2, and if you hit enter, you can actually see your certificate that's residing in there. I'm going to close this session here. So which method should you use? Well, here's the breakdown. You can use the secret route if your security certificate needs to be encrypted. And also, as you have seen, security certificate is, since it's encrypted, is best for sensitive certificate. The secret method also gives you an option to use a TLS route, which you can use a private key to authenticate the certificate. On the other hand, for the config map, as you can see, is simple to manage and is good for non-sensitive certificate. And you can see, since it's an ASCII format, it's easy to update as well. So there you have it, two robust methods for deploying security certificate in Ranchers. Method 1 use secrets for sensitive certificate, and method 2 with config map for general use case. Both methods ensures your certificates are properly mounted and accessible to your application. Remember to always verify your deployment and use read-only mount for security. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more Rancher and Kubernetes contents. Drop your certificate question in a comment below. I'd love to hear what your security challenges you are facing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.